Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third episode of the Defiance Central podcast. It has been a long time coming. It has been quite a while since we have done one of these. Basically, 3 time zones, ill people, not a very good mix. It has been taken, it has taken a while to get us together. As usual, I'm Jembu. And with me, as always, is Calber and Matt. Say hello, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, guys.
First of all, how are we all?
I'm well again.
Well, again.
Happy that we're all together. So, yeah.
I'm adequate.
Adequate. There's a lot of things that have been gone wrong with us recently, hasn't there? Bits of flus and stuff like that. So we are
breaking.
Everything breaking. Yeah, we are happy that we're all together and doing this. Basically, as usual, we're going to be bringing you all the stuff that we've heard and seen and everything like that. With Defiance Central itself, we've been getting there. We've been keeping on track with Tryon, just keeping gathering all the information that we've seen. We have basically that Tryon have got some new members of staff, haven't they?
We do. Well, they do, but
we do. I was going to say we don't pay them. I hope.
I hope they don't get paid. I don't get paid.
Well, we don't get paid. I hope they get paid, or they don't get a game made.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, it's long ways. Anyway, who wants to start off then?
Not everyone at once, guys.
We're rusty.
So, Richardson. Actually, this was quite interesting to me. Nathan Richardson from CCP. Yeah. I don't know. I like CCP. So anything involving CCP is good news, as far as I'm concerned.
I think that was the general response of everyone who has been following Defiance and has been up to date on what's going on with EVE and CCP and everything they're doing. So I think it definitely was a good move, even for PR reasons. And he has a lot of experience, so I think that's always good to have on board.
Yeah. A bit of background with Nathan Richardson. He had worked for CCP, which is the Icelandic company that did EVE Online and is now doing Dust 514. He started off in telecoms, I believe, and worked his way up to executive producer of EVE Online. So that was a hell of it's a hell of a career he's had, really, isn't it? He's had some pretty decent games. If not, I think EVE Online is, even though it's a small one, it's got a very good and very coherent or concurrent player base? Like
concurrent, yeah.
Concurrent. I think they're up to 50,000 people on at the same time on one server.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when I was playing. I resubscribed to it last month, and I was subscribed at the amount of people. Because I always thought more people play that game, but I guess not. But I guess the people that do play it are very dedicated. So, you know.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the longest successful game running.
Well, when did I start playing?
2 is also up there, I guess. But
Anarchy Online is up there with it too.
Yeah,
I'm not sure which came out. I'm pretty sure Anarchy Online came out first.
It came out
EVE Online came out, 2003? Or the start of 2004, maybe?
Let's see.
Because I know my character's birthday is the August 21st, 2004.
I believe it's 2003.
Yeah, May in North America, North America, UK, May 6th. Europe in general, May 23rd, 2003.
Good old Google on the fly.
Cheats.
Right, yeah. So Nathan Richardson did come on board. There was a nice little bit of news that came with him. He did a interview with was it IGN? I can't remember.
No, I think it was. We should get those sources.
So many news sites.
Let's call it IGN for now.
But basically, he had
IGN, PC Gamer, RPS, all those. Yes.
he had an interview with them, and during the questions, they asked how the game was going to be monetized, and they came out with it's going to be a hybrid business plan,
Which can be anything.
which can be anything.
Basically, they're saying that we don't know yet, is what it sounds like.
But at least there is the one that's coming where it could be like Guild Wars 2, which is my personal favorite system as it stands at the moment.
If I think about hybrid, I think about something you buy and then something you can optionally buy. Well, sorry, optionally buy.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
what's a
I
real
think
good
basically
example
what
of
it is hinting at, in my opinion.
It would be conforming into the pretty much the gaming industry for MMOs really at the moment, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Because
there's not that many subscriber-based MMOs that are doing real well. I think Eve is one of the few.
But then again, with Eve, you don't actually have to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
pay.
That's true.
I played it for 6 years, and I paid for around 2 years of it, I believe. The rest you can they had their Plex cards, yeah, and the game time cards, which you could use the in-game currency for. So it works. But anyway, we're not Eve Online. We are Defiance, and Richardson now is Defiance. You cannot get away from the Defiance.
Speaking of Defiance, so Star Wars: The Old Republic. No, I'm joking.
No.
But
no,
no.
I don't want to talk about Star Wars.
No,
or
we'll-
Disney in this
I have a
podcast.
feeling that
It's banned.
hostile very quick.
Right, there is only Star Wars: The Old Republic comes into this conversation once at the very end of the podcast, and we're going to leave it at that. I don't want to. We're not going to talk about that.
No, we're just not going to waste the air talking about it. It's
Sorry,
under
I have
discussion.
derailed the entire podcast. It's now
Uh,
over. Okay, but no, back to
you're not
Defiance.
invited back. You're not invited back to the next one.
Oh.
We'll find somebody else.
Ouch. That's
No, that's how much I despise that game now. Anyway,
Okay,
I'm lost where I am. Right, new staff members. Daniel Chin.
Yes, that was a
That,
surprise, actually.
well, this is where I'm a bit out of my depth now because I didn't particularly know who Daniel Chin was.
yeah. Me neither.
No,
The only place I know him from is actually what we have in the notes here for Medal of Honor Warfighter Community Manager.
yes.
So
I didn't know they had community manager.
no, I've spoken to him on Twitter and stuff like that. He sounds like a nice fella.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
Other people hold him in regard, so I'm quite looking forward to working with him. Working with him, letting him make us his patsies.
bugging him so we get free stuff, basically.
Of course, that's what we're in for.
I think if the community managers and directors try and hire them, he probably knows his stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, you say what you want about Medal of Honor, but it's a big franchise. You're going to have professional people in that.
Definitely.
Aye, so we do welcome Daniel Chin into the mix and hope he is going to enjoy his stay anyway.
And we should have him on here.
Aye, we do have a goal in the future to try and get the devs on here, or at least have segments where we've interviewed them, and hopefully, I'm hoping to even get some of the actors on here. But one can hope, as it was pointed out to me, it's a little bit more difficult now that they've finished the season. I did not put that in the notes.
Oh.
No, but we're here now, so let's pick it up.
We're here.
So they finished they finished filming this season.
The end.
The end. Yeah.
The end. So we are now know that season 1 has now been completed. And
it is awful that it's completed because the last week my Twitter just exploded with actors, crew, directors, producers like tweeting about the season with all kind of photos and fun stuff, and I think even a few spoilers, but I'm not really sure about that. So yeah, lots of fun stuff.
the one thing I do like is they did a image. Well, there was an image of Julie Benz in the front seat of a car with a nice communicator. That's what I was trying to say, wasn't it? Which was entitled what? Bye bye phones, hello something else.
Yeah.
I have
Oh,
not seen that.
I did
one.
not.
saw
I
that
didn't
one?
see that picture either.
Cal, you saw that one.
If I saw that one, it didn't stick with me.
Anyway, it was one of my friends. Remember, I said I wanted to make the phone.
Oh, the phone, of course.
The
Now
phone.
I understand.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we.
that
Bag.
phone. Of course, that phone.
Oh my god,
I
communicators!
know all
They,
about
they
that.
they were saying no phones. Bye bye smartphones.
Maybe we need to explain, Matt, what the hell we're talking about, and maybe the rest of the listeners as well.
Maybe I can just
It could be helpful.
speak sense at times. That could help.
Speaks sense.
Yeah, maybe. So basically, we will put the photo in the in the podcast when it's up. But it's a photo from the Defiance show where Julie Benz, her character, is holding a phone in Defiance. I think now it's clear, and it looks really really cool, like science fiction type thing. So that was what the what a bit of a teaser was about, and there were actually quite a few of those things that just were really nice if you were following them on Twitter to pick up on.
Like Noah's character. That looks cool. The steampunky kind of bloke.
Yes, there were the makeup and the face mask just look awesome. I cannot imagine how much work that is and how much time they spend in every day just getting those faces on.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, they have
we
really
derailed
awesome
again.
makeup. No, well, whatever.
no,
Still
we
fun
haven't.
show.
It is about the
We're
show.
on track. Everything is fine. I'm actually looking. I'm hunting this picture down. Who tweeted it? Was it Julie that tweeted it?
No, it was
I
Defiance
think
Universe.
Oh,
World.
No, it
Defiance
was
World.
on the Facebook, I think,
oh,
as well, wasn't it?
Okay, well I can check there. That'll be quicker.
Right, if anybody doesn't know the Defiance, well, as a whole, the game, the TV show, they're on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Defiance. At the moment, there is 23,500 likes on here, with about 4,500 people speaking about it, as they say. There is a nice picture of Tony Curran
I
and
know. I'm looking at that
Yes.
too.
looking at some fantastic. We're talking about the makeup for this, and the person they're hugging, it's half robot. If I remember right.
It is actually a robot. If you saw the preview of the chapter 4 making of Defiance, you actually see the guy controlling his face. It just looks awesome.
Ah, okay. I see the communicator.
Yeah, November 8th it got posted.
Yeah. Okay, I see it. Nice.
Ah.
I want one.
I think everybody wants one at the moment. Right. Going back to the staff members and stuff, Elizabeth Toby, it is Toby, isn't it?
Yes.
Otherwise known as Dahanis, has started a series on the website, well, on their website, on the community blog, called Meet the Devs. Now, they are running through the different kinds of development stuff that it takes to make the game. It's all started off with I can never pronounce his name right.
Just call him Nick.
Nick, the SVP of development, Defiance, who is basically one of the he is the hot shot really of the game, isn't he?
The way he explains this, he's explaining to me at Gamescom. He is the guy that is definitely important in the process, and there's a supporting role when things need to be set on track, and then he gets out of the way. If I remember correctly, that's. But of course, I mean, he has a major role in Tryon and in Defiance. And if you see the interviews with him during Comic-Con, and it's really clear that he has a major impact on the direction Tryon is going with Defiance, which I think is really good.
SVP of development. Yeah, that sounds important.
Well, anything with VP in it, isn't
Yeah, pretty much.
it? And he is also Nathan Richardson's boss, isn't he?
I think he's everyone's boss,
well,
right?
no, it's even though Nathan Richardson is because he's the executive producer, isn't he?
Yeah, I can never get the hierarchy straight
I
in
would
gaming
figure that
companies, because
I'd figure that the senior vice president of development would, I'm assuming that's what that stands for, would
yes,
be toward the top.
Yes, but he's also come in as one of the. He's come in as two roles in Trion. He's another VP of development, I believe, as well as the executive producer. Or that's what I was under the impression of.
Oh.
But that was in the interview with the person
that is the tricky thing with, I think, with the game industry as a whole. Everyone changes titles and positions so fast, and in my opinion, so often, and every gaming company does it a little bit different, that it's really impossible for fans and sympathizers to track who's exactly doing what when.
I think Valve probably has the easiest hierarchy to follow. There's developers, then there's Gabe. It's all we worry about at Valve.
Okay, we'll put it this way, with a quote from Nathan Richardson from his Meet the Developer session. This is why you want to go to this page, because this explains everything. He's involved in the general game development at Trion as VP of development, but his primary focus is executive producer of Trion. So there we go.
Well, that's sort of... We still don't know which one's higher.
No, but it's what's name, isn't it? He then goes on to say he's responsible for everything that is Defiance, like ordering pizzas. So,
which is, I probably think, the most important job in the office.
Keep everybody fed.
Yeah.
Except maybe like making cake and cookies and
Snuggies.
Snuggies, yes, for the development team. Which I think brings us to the next person on the list, right?
Yeah, she is further down, but she is one of our. Well, she is the design producer. It's Emily Taylor, otherwise known as Pentapod.
Yes,
Pentapod. She is. If you follow Defiance, which you should be as you're listening to this, and you should be anyway, because it's going to be awesome. Shameless plug. She is very into community as well as developing the game. She likes to have fun while doing things. As you heard her say about Snuggies, she did a Snuggie for Defiance, which looked absolutely awesome. I think, wasn't it on Nathan Richardson?
No, I think it was on a face I did not know. But what I found much funnier was the next day there was like actually a Hellbug with also a Snuggie on him.
Yeah,
and that was just amazing. Basically, if you're into Defiance, follow all the devs on Twitter, but yeah, definitely follow Pentapod at Twitter. It's just a lot of fun. And yeah, like John said, it's almost like community management, but in a producer's role, which is fun to see.
Once again, these titles.
Sorry?
What do they mean?
Yeah.
I know what community manager means. That's all I know.
Then read the Meet the Dev session.
I still read them and they're just words.
No, but the latest one that's been on there is Bill Trost, who is the creative lead on Defiance, and his primary role is making sure that everything stays true to form for the Defiance world, and keeps everything in check between the TV show and the game in relates to art and stuff like that, which is kind of cool.
It's a very important role, I think, especially if you want to sync them up and have them both like feel like the same universe. Very important to cover.
Right, the last thing I am going to point out for the actual Defiance website is that they actually expanded their forum base now. For the past few months, it has only been a few English forums, basically general chat and all that sort of jazz. But now they've opened it up. You've got your guild recruitment forums, and you've also got French and German speaking community forums as well,
which are quite active to my surprise. The English forums took a while to like pick up, and now we finally have some nice discussions going on there.
Aye, the forums have been a lot more active over the past month and a half. Well, since the last podcast, really, which has been very nice to see.
Yeah, well, I think the game's gotten a lot more attention now that ads have started airing and whatnot. So,
it also helps with the Extra Life streaming session that they did, which is going to be our next protocol. But that is another. Even though it only got, I think it was about 2.5 hours worth of airtime, it still received quite a lot of interest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, both Defiance and Warface got quite a lot of attention there from the people watching.
Yeah, I was surprised that. I don't want to get off topic, but I was actually surprised by Warface. That game looks really good. I didn't know much about it, but it looks really good.
I managed to play it when I was at Eurogamers, and I was going into it going, "Oh, it's going to be another free-to-play, pay-to-win sort of thing."
That's the reason I was kind of like, yeah.
But I wasn't expecting the in-depth co-op and all that sort of jazz. And speaking to Peter, who was the crud, what was his title? I think he was the EP of Warface. It seemed pretty good, and it was surprisingly smooth for a game that isn't even in beta in here. But we've also got to remember that it's out in Russia already.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're changing it for the Western world, and testing it first because, well, I say testing. They've released it, haven't they?
Are you talking about the Russian version, or?
Yep.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind that there are quite a few different development decisions made for that version than for the European version.
Yeah.
So while it is the same game, the actual end project that we as EU are going to see can be quite a bit different than the Russian one.
Yeah, and handling the localization themselves is actually a really good decision, because there are a lot. Or I'm assuming, it looks like they are handling the localization themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of companies. I'll just give a recent example. Activision, for example, they don't own the rights to Call of Duty Black Ops 2 in Russia. The rights for that game to be sold in Russia was sold to another company that took hold of it and localized it for Russia. That can cause problems, especially with, I think the recent one that got a lot of attention was Borderlands 2. The Russian version you couldn't play with players in other countries, and I think that was sorted now. But it's just a lot better when companies handle this themselves. And I understand it takes money and all, but it seems like the overall experience tends to be way better than if you license it off to another company to do it for you.
It also helps that they're in Kiev, aren't they? It's because it's the Crytek development team
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it helps with them being almost there.
Yeah, that's an interesting partnership there. Crytek and Tryon.
Well, it works.
Oh, it works. Obviously.
Right, so October 20th saw the Treon Worlds taking part in the Extra Life charity campaign, which I managed, I think, to watch maybe a third of it because I was actually working that whole weekend, which was a shame.
I think I skipped about 3 or 4 hours. I played Rift again during the time they were streaming. Actually got to play with some of the community managers, which was really nice. It was just a great initiative and great event, to be honest, and awesome result.
Aye. If people don't know what the Extra Life charity campaign is, basically every year in October, well, the end of the last weekend, is it, of October?
I think, yeah,
Maybe.
it's either the last weekend or the next to last weekend.
Aye, there is a 24-hour charity event where basically you play games for 24 hours and get donations for it as well. And this year, Trion did it, or Tryon did it. Keep saying it wrong. Did it for the third year running. And this saw Dahanis, Emery, Elra, Zan, and Overload UT, who is relatively new to the team.
He was there for like 4 days, I think, if I remember correctly. And he
Uh,
was doing a great job at it as well.
Aye. They streamed for a full 24 hours from the office, starting at 8 a.m. on the Saturday till the following 8 on the Sunday. And then
Yes.
I think Dahanis and Overload had to go to San Diego after that or something like that.
Yeah,
so they didn't sleep much.
And the rest got offered to have Monday off, but went to the office anyway. So that's the type of people that work at Tryon, guys.
Yep.
Aye.
All the kids.
So basically with them and a total of 486 people joined the Trion team this year, and they raised nigh on $22,500 in 24 hours. Wow,
That's a good amount of cash going to charity right there.
to put it in the respective monies, it's around 17,500 euros and just over £14,000 raised in 24 hours. Now, hats off to him. There were people like, if you've been hanging around Rift for a while, Laughter, she used to help on a podcast or something like that. She took part in it and raised about the same amount as Dahanis did, which was about $700, I think. Can't quite remember.
We should join next year with Defiance.
That is my plan.
24 hours Defiance stream, nothing else. Just
I can do that. I'm down for that.
I'm down for that as well.
well, let's put it in the agendas.
Oh, jeez, that's a really long agenda, sir.
At least we then don't have to worry about syncing up our time zones.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Somehow I have a feeling I'm going to be up for 50 hours, not 24.
Well, we normally do stuff like that when we have a good gaming session anyway.
By the way, I just want
Yeah.
to throw out there, this is not necessarily related to Defiance, but it is related to Extra Life. I was looking for the total amount of money that Extra Life raised, and it's $2 million.
Wow.
And
That's
I'm
great.
pretty sure that's
awesome.
the most they've ever raised. So that's really cool. Yeah, I was just looking that up because.
And also keep in mind that most of that money is actually given by gamers. So
Yeah.
I mean that makes it, in my opinion, so much better.
Oh yeah. If there were two charities that I would go to if you want to support stuff like this and you're a gamer, I mean obviously donating to any charity is awesome, but Extra Life and Child's Play are my two favorite charities.
Yeah, that I agree with. Right, with with the whole extra life, that, like I was saying, there was about 2.5 hours worth of gameplay, which we're gonna sum up in little bits and bats now. But if you actually want to go see the VODs from it, all you need to do is go to twitch.tv/TrionWorlds, and there's two. Yeah, there's two videos because the stream dropped. One's like an hour and a half in, and the other's like 3 hours in, something like that.
Yeah, you'll have to kind of skim through the videos to find when the Defiance gameplay is. But it's
if you actually go on to the Defiance forums, there is a post on there with the actual timestamps. And we'll also stick Steintamps.
The what?
Time stamps in the description or wherever, because this is going on the YouTube channel anyway, so we'll have the links to it there anyway. So who wants to start with the breakdown of Defiance?
Once again,
not all at once.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been speaking. I need a drink. Someone else speak.
I mean, I'm just saying, someone owes me a shirt. I think they should take this one.
Okay, it's been a long while since I've seen the footage, so let's start. I think the first play session was mostly PvE. We've seen them run through some quests, some areas. We've seen them ride on vehicles, which looks pretty awesome. Looks pretty solid.
Yeah, the vehicles are shaping up to be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember Elra wanting to do a lot of races and ended up jumping lots of things with the boost.
Yes. Races is a great point. As we saw, you can kind of have to go through hoops, and the races are kind of set throughout the world, I would imagine. And yeah, then you have a race, which is kind of a nice idea. And I don't think it's any game has done that before, other than other than racing games. Oh wow,
now
that.
The race, because I don't think I saw this. I had to watch the VODs. I wasn't there for the live stream. So how exactly did the race? How did that work?
It was the end of the first play session for Defiance. Basically, you went up to. They have a shine thing, by the looks of it, which is your mission quest. It looks like a. Right, I am gonna actually say this. I meant to say it before we started speaking about the actual the video, the live stream. It was a very early alpha build.
Yeah.
The game isn't in beta. It's in very early alpha. And as they were saying on the stream repeatedly, which is a very good thing that they were saying that, because there were bugs you saw and stuff like that, that only a handful of people have seen it. So from that, we can say that it's still in internal development, and hasn't got a large amount of people playing it. So keep that in mind if you do watch the VODs and anything, that it is in a very early build. I think for some of it, Elizabeth, she lost her vehicle, so she ended up running everywhere. So big ass map, 2 little legs. You can understand the frustration there.
Yeah.
But where were we? Races, yes. You have, by the looks of it, you have little glimmers of light, sort of thing, as mission giveaways, as mission starts.
Markers. Yeah.
Marcus, there we go. And one of them that Zam went to showed a race. Now, when you start, you go through the hoops. If you think of any time attack, I think.
I know what you're saying. I don't know what the name of it is, though.
Races.
Yeah.
I want to say Star Fox.
That's a good example, I think.
Yeah. Where you fly through the rings and everything, it's like that basically. You have rings on the floor that you've got to drive through, and go through, and it brings you up the top people who have raced and stuff like that, and the score you got to beat, and gives you a reward for it. So it looks like it's a nice little, not gimmicky mission, but
Wouldn't it be great if you could do it with friends?
yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. When you said race, that's what I was thinking. That it was
No.
Well, it's more of a time attack.
time attack. Yeah.
Yes.
I know Elra was saying, "Oh, let's do the race." So I think everybody, well, I was thinking, "Wow, racing, that's going to be awesome," and then it was a time attack. So wrong call.
So it's similar. I saw a gameplay video from E3, and they were showing off this little. I guess challenge would be the best word for it, where he was
Yes.
had to survive waves of attacks. So it's. I mean, obviously it's not the
similar.
same thing, but it works the same way. It puts you in your own instance, and then you. Okay.
Another really cool thing that of the what we saw on the stream was the change in atmosphere as you came up to an Arkfall, where the entire environment kind of just morphed into a dark, cloudy atmosphere.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool.
It was. It did. It looked like one. What did they call it? It was the Hellbug Uprising.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what they called it.
Because it looked like there was many different little encounters going on. Because they were hopping over from one encounter to the other, weren't
Yeah, I think I played that one at Gamescom, and basically you start out by killing the small it's
Small
probably
bug,
the wrong
yeah.
term, but small crystals with enemies around it, which in the case of the gameplay were hellbugs, and then you do that a couple of times, and then a bigger event spawns, which I think is like this giant cocoon with a flying hellbug on top, which you need to shoot certain points to like get through multiple stages of the fight. Yeah, it was really fun.
The N1 hour, I've got a note down here of how the different NPCs look, but you had a couple of really big hellbugs, didn't you? The matriarchs and the matrons.
Yes.
They look sick, especially that matron. Looked like a big Christmas cake.
Yeah. I wouldn't eat him though.
No, I don't think. I think it'd be a bit nasty, but
A bit, yeah.
A bit.
just a bit,
just a little bit.
But no, the way they look and the way they interact with people, and when they go underground, I kept noticing this little red warning box underneath them, and then just getting smacked in the face or something like that.
Don't stand in fire. It's going to be don't stand in hellbugs.
Don't
Yeah.
stand in hellbugs.
Don't stand in the acid. No, that's going into Star Wars.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
No.
Ah!
Not again. No. But no, I mean, when I first saw the game back when they put out the first trailer, it looked. I'm not going to say that I thought it like the graphics wise. I'm not going to say that I thought it looked bad, but I will say that after I've looked more into the art style of the game actually looks really good, especially for an MMO.
Yeah,
and that they've obviously made improvements since the original trailer. But no, the game's really looking good.
The NPCs are looking awesome, especially with some of the concept art that they've put on the Facebooks. I remember seeing one of the 99ers, the miners.
Yeah,
and he looks sick as anything.
Yeah.
But no, it is looking awfully good. It's very pretty. And I've just seen a picture of, well, I've just found a picture of that. Do you know that ending of the Artful that you're on about with the like bug on the top?
Yes.
I've just found a picture of that on the Facebook.
I'm
Of
pretty
the
sure they
concept art or of the actual game?
Concept art.
Yeah, oh, that's cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a video of that from E3, or maybe it wasn't
Yeah.
E3, but I'm pretty sure there's a video of that.
Well, it's been in the trailers anyway.
Yeah, it
from
has,
it.
But I mean, just straight up gameplay.
Yeah, it's in the E3 footage.
Yeah. I saw it somewhere.
I like the way that we've had some subtle confirmations. Well, confirmations in an alpha build subject to change thing. Because I remember on the forums having a hefty discussion on vehicles and how it was going to be and how they were going to spawn. And were they going to appear? Were they going to zoom in or whatnot?
You
And
whistle and then it just shows up.
yeah, it sounds like the horn goes off, and then it appears. So that is how we see it as it stands at the moment.
Well, I mean, that's obviously something that could very easily change if they figure out a better way to do it.
I hope they keep it though. I mean,
I think it's fine the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't need to be too elaborate.
Abstract, yeah.
Yeah. Like a elevator shoots out of the ground and then the door opens and your freaking quad rolls out of the.
Well, that you need to run a kilometer to a garage and open the garage and fuel your ATV and then
GTA style.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Your ATV falls out of the sky.
Yeah. No, I did like seeing the UI in action. If you don't know what the UI is the user interface. So we're seeing the ammo and everything, the health bars, and stuff like that. I like the way you do get distinctive sounds and visual cues when bad things are happening, like you're losing life.
Well, that's a very... That's needed, yeah. Just... I'm imagining a very bad game where the visual cue is just with the words popping up. Bad things are happening. You should probably take action. Yeah, you should probably do something.
You should probably hide.
But no, the UI looks really good, and obviously, I mean, the UI is something that probably will change before the game's out. But it looks good. I mean, it looks good the way it is. Personally, I mean, I'm sure it could look better, but it looks fine.
I think for a game that is going to launch on both console and PC, the UI is very good.
And I'm wondering if they'll tweak the because you played at Gamescom. They had both PC and 360 setups, right?
No. At Gamescom they had PCs, and at the last moment they ordered like 360 controllers to connect to the PCs. But I believe that they're actually going to keep it mostly similar. One thing I would imagine, though, I mean, PC gamers are used to their mouse, so if you like want to navigate to a specific part of the UI, we are kind of used in games where we have this small menu on the right bottom corner or top where we just click. Well, now I want to go to the map, and now I want to go to my inventory, and now I want to go there. On a console, that is entirely different because you press your start button and then you cycle through which menu you want to go to. As a PC gamer, I kind of would still really love that addition because it makes our life a little bit easier.
Oh yeah.
Well, you also got to think, especially with shooters, you don't get mouse control.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, definitely.
I'm wondering, one thing they could do is just have an option to unlock the mouse.
Yeah.
Well, you have a look. You saw them using the mouse when you were in the menu screens, and they had that quick menu button. You saw Zan and Dahanis using it to invite people, which looks like you open it up and then use the arrow keys or whatnot to navigate it. It looks very simple, very compact.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the hot menu in Maya and other graphics editors where you just...
Simple and easy to use. First thing you say, Maya.
Okay, well, okay, it's probably bad comparison.
Hey, I like Maya. So
I love Maya, but it's definitely not simple and easy to use. But I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it does look really, really intuitive as far as how like just the ease of use, the ease of use, because I apparently can't think of proper words tonight.
I'm lost where we are now. We've had all these things that we're noting here, we've seen in conversations on the forums and stuff like that. There's been far too many questions asked on the forums to cover everything that went on the videos. But I'm gonna add a few little things, little simple tidbits like. In a thread, I remember somebody saying, "What are they going to do for ammo?"
Oh yeah, because you are going to have ammo in this game. It's not all unlimited.
Yes.
So yeah, you saw him. You saw Zan running out of ammo in his shotgun, so he had to come out with his sniper rifle. And by the looks of it, you get ammo off killing people.
Yeah.
Well, killing NPCs.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine they'd have to make it pretty easy to get ammo.
And I remember in Gamescom that during inside the match there were these ammo crates, and I believe they were also in the PvE gameplay.
Yeah, I remember seeing some of those in videos.
I think I saw it in like the first instance. They showed the first mission at the time where they went had to save some dock workers.
Yeah.
And you just saw him because he opened up with the sniper rifle. The headshot animations are beautiful. The head exploding and blood spurting out the neck. I don't think you could ask for any more for a headshot, could you?
No.
Or is that just me?
No.
No, I cannot imagine many other things to do with a head at the moment.
They could pull a. Oh god, I can't remember the name of the movie. What was the? Oh god. Oh, I feel so stupid. The movie, the remake that came out, not Dread, but the other one. The original had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. Total Recall. The new Total Recall movie.
I was just going to say, you went from Dread, which was Sylvester Stallone.
Well, I was talking remakes, and obviously the latest remake that was really good was Dread. But no, in Total Recall, anytime there was like a headshot or someone got shot, it would always cut. It's just a jump cut. So it could be worse. It could just be jump cut to something random.
Yeah, but just some of the stuff that's coming out in video games at the moment, it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
But they're going to have a way to tone it down, though, aren't they?
Matt, is there a way that we can have a counter on YouTube for the amount of times we use cool and awesome? That's quite interesting.
And have one for a telephone.
No, and then have a blinging sound every time the word is used. Bing.
I'm sorry, but this game does look awesome, cool, and amazeballs.
We could. It can be done.
But it would just
long time. I could just see myself going in, adding the bings. I'll be like,
and at the end,
being number 405.
Start it. Right, getting back on track. I was speaking a bit earlier about the user. Well, we're all on about the user face, but the actual character screens and stuff like that. You saw how they have the grid by the looks of it for your. What would you class them as? Skill points?
I would call them skill points by lack of the official term, I guess.
Yeah, skill points until they name it. I don't know if they've actually called it anything yet.
I know when they were getting points, it was coming up on the screen with, what was it, ego?
I remember from my interview with Rob at Gamescom that he was calling it perks, which you would basically use to alter your abilities and improve your character. That's all I know.
So perks, ego, skill point. We'll go with skill points for now, because that's essentially what it is.
Yes,
even if it is.
And that will be understandable by everyone as well.
Yeah.
And if we saw quite a few. We did see the interface in bits and bats. I know they were trying to keep a few things to a minimum on the stream, For example, cut
Yeah.
scenes. They were just skipping them.
Yeah, I'm
because-
sure. I've alpha tested MMOs before, and a lot of people don't understand when they get into alphas.
It's the last thing to be done, isn't
Yeah,
it?
how it looks and small bugs are the last priority. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but people just don't understand that something as simple as cutscenes not necessarily working properly. It's not a big deal if it's an easy thing to fix. But no, I mean it's easily understandable that they would try to hide stuff like that. And I mean, some of it's probably not even done yet.
And probably might impact us the spoilers for the show
Oh
as
yeah,
well, I
that's
guess.
true. That's
Yeah.
very true.
I mean, I'm actually curious how they're going to handle testing the story inside the game.
Well,
The game of Defiance. If it actually is placed in the same universe, you might potentially get hints of what is going to happen
well,
in the season.
I'm wondering if they even will have a open testing for it.
No, maybe
They-
not. I mean, it's
They're
already
gonna
possible
have to
that they
have a
would.
stress test.
I mean, they could have a stress test definitely, but they could easily lock off those parts of the game during
yeah,
the
of
stress
course.
test. In a beta test, it's more about testing the entire game, or alpha or beta test. But
You've
I mean,
also
I'm assuming they
gotta-
just have a crap ton of QA testers.
Well, they've got a. It's a big enough company, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's growing by the day if you look at the people who get introduced.
Aye, they've been what? Well, we know of at least 3 employees that have come over in the last month and a half.
these
and,
are bigger names too. This isn't even. I mean, I'm sure every little
Yes,
programmer
yes,
that joins a team
definitely.
doesn't get a spotlight, which sucks because programmers are awesome, and so is everyone else. I'm not discriminating.
I just want to put a link to one video that always makes me laugh with coders. If you've ever seen the Code Monkey video,
I think every coder has seen the Code Monkey video.
Everyone, yes.
If not, you're not a coder.
Which Code Monkey video?
it,
Jonathan Colton, Code Monkey.
oh, I don't know. It
Or
was oh crap! It had a anime video to it.
probably
That's-
Jonathan Colton.
Yeah,
It was based around a song, right? Code
Yeah.
Monkey, get up, get coffee. Yeah, that's Jonathan
Yeah.
Colton. Yeah, I've listened to that song so many times. It's ridiculous. But yeah, no, Code Monkeys, man.
right. We saw examples of these starting abilities or the core abilities, haven't we? During that as well, I keep seeing a hologram.
I've played with them on Gamescom.
Ah.
They're basically still the same. Also, I think there was one damage boosting ability or something like that. That's what it looked to me, which I did not see on Gamescom. Other than that, there's stealth, hologram, which functions as a diversion,
Hmm.
and speed boost.
Yeah. Yeah,
So much fun to be had with stealth and shotguns. I think.
I wonder how they'll.
Sneak.
Okay, and this is something I don't remember. I'm not sure if we saw this from any of your Gamescom videos. How do they do stealth in multiplayer or in PvP? Rather,
Okay, it's
multiplayer.
actually quite interesting because you walk around and then you press stealth, and then this watery flow comes around you, which when you go stealth, you still see the person, and then when that person moves, you still see him slightly. But in PvP, it's hard to spot them.
It's just hard to. Okay, so they're not
So
completely
basic-
invisible. They just make
they're
it hard to see.
Yes. It's
A shimmer.
yeah, it's more like what Aquaman or something like that. That's how I would
We
describe
got
it.
Aquaman in the future. Awesome.
The weird thing is, I know exactly the texture that you're talking about right now.
Yeah,
It's-
so do I.
And yeah, you could sneak up to people pretty badly. When I was playing with stealth, which I did not do a hell of a lot because I had just too much fun with running around circles around people, was you could get pretty close to people and then melee them. And I'm actually curious with stealth if we have the ability to for example skill points, for example get more damage when we're behind our target, and then stealth could become really kind of interesting because then you kind of get your rogue shooter aspect in there, where you kind of sneak up on people and just kill them.
Yeah,
Also, would be
there's a
good
lot
with
of.
team play there.
I mean, this is really unique. I mean, aside from obviously it, being tied in with the TV show, like gameplay wise, this is a really unique game. They could do a lot of interesting things with it.
Yes. Wouldn't it be great if you like have the amount of possibilities, like for example a game like Rift Orphans in a shooter? I think that is pretty much unparalleled in the industry. Wow.
I didn't know what you were. Okay,
Red
in
Larry,
the
yellow
industry.
Larry.
No, but you've got to think with Rift and their Soul system, how many different variations do you have in Rift? That
I,
could
I,
Useful ones or actual?
no. I mean, you
just
in Rift,
variations in general. I think he means
yeah.
combinations.
Yeah, well, it's endless combinations, really.
Which when you saw, I saw Aura having a look at what I believe is like the skill thing, and there was a lot there. There was a fair few things.
Oh yeah, I know it. Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Right, I keep
So
sneezing.
next, let's see. Do we have any other notes here that we want to hop on?
Explodable barrels.
Oh jeez.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like my high explosives.
as long as they're the generic red barrel, then
No, by the looks of it, they're a yellow barrel.
Oh yeah.
That comes up. That they were saying because there's no friendly fire in there as it stands, but there are a few things that does like global damage, and that's one of them.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, you can still blow up your teammates if you like time your shots properly when they stand behind the barrel. That's perfect.
If
Hey,
you're
Cal, go
really
take over
dedicated,
over there.
yeah, if you're really dedicated, you can still kill your friends. Okay.
If you're
Perfect.
dedicated to the murderous cause of your teammates,
Oh,
please
yeah.
use explosive barrels.
Explosive barrels. Now we need is a telekinesis ability to pick up the barrel and then chuck it at teammates.
That's going into Bioshock territory there.
Oh,
Right. I think that was everything that we could cover on there. A little bits of stuff like the day cycles and the night cycles. They look absolutely awesome.
Ding,
What?
ding.
Hey,
Ah!
I was
we're
like,
not-
what the hell are you doing?
aren't dinging.
We're not dinging. There'll just be too many. No, the whole atmospherics of the game is good. I don't want to say awesome.
No, you just said it. We got a ding again.
Ah,
There's no rules. It's just anytime it's said.
no, but it does look fab.
No,
I use fab there.
God, now we're just deforming into leak speak.
That fab is not leapseek. It's absolutely fabulous,
Oh,
darling.
fab. Oh no, okay, fabulous is it? But fab is something you use when you're like trying to not type a lot when you're texting someone.
Anyway, we'll leave the live stream at that. Or we're
Okay.
just going to start losing IQ.
Here's something that I want to ask Cal about because I haven't really been paying attention to Twitter for the past half a week. What's this big mystery thing going on?
And you expect me to know?
You know more than I do.
This mystery thing.
It is
Mystery thing.
it's a big mystery, and all we basically know is that they asked for Defiance fans who could make it to the UK.
There's
Okay.
a company in the UK, and they do it. They're a game server host called Multiplay, and on their forums they've asked for 12. I think it's 12. 12 members who are able to get together to do a playtest, maybe.
12? I wonder what they'd be testing with 12 people. Maybe a new. I wonder what.
Well,
I
it could be
think
anything.
Yeah, it could be anything.
No, but if it's that, then it's really simple. Then it's just a user focus group. I mean,
Oh yeah, it could be just a random
that's
focus.
Because
I
it's
mean,
not been played over here yet, has it?
Oh.
It's not actually been here. It wasn't at Eurogamers. That's one thing I haven't put down. It sponsored the London Comic Con. It was the main sponsor. They had
yeah,
huge
and
billboard.
they had these huge billboards, right?
Aye, they weren't there, but they just sponsored it.
Yeah, I
And
actually found out recently that the Comic Cons have nothing to do with each other. They're just called that.
Yes,
Like they're not related. That was a shock to me. I had no idea.
No, there's it was the MCM London Comic Con. They do a load through the UK from Birmingham to Manchester. I think they got one in Manchester.
Well, we almost went there
Yes, we did.
to check out Defiance, but yeah.
And then it was like, no, they're not there. It's like, damn. Plus, anyway, I'm actually really glad that Defiance. This is the only time that you're going to hear me say something. What's name? I'm quite glad they weren't there because I had the flu that weekend. I booked it off. I was going to go back into work and I was just ill for the entire weekend. So I'm quite happy that they weren't there, or I would have been at their store all weekend.
I mean,
you would have infected everyone there and put the development behind schedule, and
No.
then it would all be your fault.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, if they want to come to like the one gaming convention we have in my area, then I'm cool with that. Carolina Games Summit. I'm just saying, nothing happens in my state. Nothing. The only thing the East Coast has is PAX. That's
Yeah,
a
are you going this year?
No, I can't go. I can't afford to fly up there.
Okay.
I wish.
Well, that's a shame, but because I'm probably going.
Yes, that's what I think about that as well.
Completely different parts of the world, and you get to go. I could drive up there. It costs a lot because my car gets like 12 miles to the gallon. But
yeah, there's one thing. Right? Yes, we hopefully should be there next year. Well, Cal will be again.
Yeah,
as he doesn't have kids.
Yes, that's the reason.
Brr.
And I don't eat and I don't drink and I just spend my money on trips.
Okay, I'll make a deal with everybody. 2014, I'll be at PAX East and PAX Prime. There we go. I'll be good then. I'll have a little bit more money then.
Right.
Send Matt money to get him to PAX East.
I am now accepting donations for the No Matt Left Behind charity fund. We don't have a website yet.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's move on, guys, because I think we have like the most exciting part of the podcast left. At least that was at least my most exciting part.
Aye, the Shadow Wars.
Yes.
Shadow Wars looks absolutely freaking awesome. Ding, ding, ding. If you don't know what Shadow Wars is, they released a developer's diary for PvP. This would have been... How long ago would that be?
What was... What? Cal was
Sorry, guys. I thought I was on mute. Can we cut that out?
Nah, leave it in. Just kill people's ears.
It's not a big deal.
Right.
It's really not, though.
November 2nd, they released, or this is according to the Defiance Facebook timeline, the player versus player and Shadow Wars developer's diary. Basically, they explained to us what their goals were for PvP and open world PvP. Now, Shadow War is a constantly changing open world PvP environment.
Sounds amazing, by the way.
Which it does. By the looks of it, you had bases or little objectives that you had to do or capture to gain points. But that isn't my favourite part of this.
What is your favourite part?
My favourite part is that it hasn't got its own instance. It is pure, open, in the real world PvP. And if you don't get what that means if you're doing a PvE mission and you're driving through the wilderness, and next thing you know, there's a shed load of shooting going around you.
Now, go ahead. I'll say what I want to say
I
after you say that.
I had not expected this to be in Defiance at all. I mean, after seeing the instant PvP, I was like, well, this is fun. We can deal with this, and then
Yeah.
have PvP be kind of the separate part of the game. And then the developer's diary came out, and I was like, what the hell? This is actually like an entirely different game.
Yeah.
It brings it into a whole new perspective.
It's a game within a
Yes.
game within a game. It's Inception.
Gameception.
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 Defianceception.
Yes.
Right, I'm getting the copyrights down now because I love those names.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So here's one thing, because I don't remember specifically if they brought this up though. Because it's in the same world, like it's in the same instance. It's not a separate thing. You're always I'm gonna say flagged because that's the like common term, but you're always flagged for PvP. Then you can't turn it off.
I don't.
So if
I don't know.
No, that was never. It said
No.
that you could join in.
Forced PvP is not part of the equation, I think.
I would hope not, anyway.
But if it's in the same okay, so
Well, picture
alright, I'm kind of confused by this.
the way I understood it is kind of like what you would do back in Star Wars Galaxies, where you would kind of flag yourself for PvP and then
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, but
But
that
Yeah.
wasn't brought up though, was it?
it wasn't.
I mean,
there.
I would hope so,
No.
because I don't, and I mean, I guess it wouldn't bother me as much because this is a shooter game and not a game like World of Warcraft or Galaxies or uh, Star Wars or Republic or anything like that. But it's a shooter, so I mean, I would be a little bit more acceptive of the always PvP thing. But at the same time, if I want to PvE, I don't want to randomly get ganked.
What I'm under the understanding is, think of Warfront. Sorry, Warfront. Is it Waterfront?
What?
You mean in the PvP map?
Yeah, the PvP.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's Waterfront.
Right.
Yeah.
Think Waterfront, and they've said that you're going to be able to queue for it, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Now think of that setting, right? That game mode plonked into the real world. Right.
But it's in the same instance though, isn't it?
Yeah, in the same instance.
Okay. I got a better view. I'm trying to think of a way to explain what I'm thinking here. So what's a good example? I'm trying to think of another game that did something similar to this. But it's basically like you'll enter this area, and it'll be an area there's just PvP going on, and you'll have an option to join in on the PvP.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. It's still very confusing.
Yeah, it's more speculation than anything.
It feels like, especially because they're doing the TV series, they have the potential to pull in a lot of people who are not necessarily super familiar with shooters.
Yeah.
So I can just not imagine them like forcing people to do PvP.
Yeah.
Because they're focusing on PvE pretty heavily as well.
Oh well, yeah.
So it makes no sense to me to do that at all.
Yeah,
and I also see no reason to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I see no reason to do it either. And honestly, as long as it's not forced, I mean, it sounds amazing. The idea of it is outstanding. The only thing that could possibly ruin it for me is if it's forced. Because, I mean, personally, it wouldn't bother me that much, but I have a lot of friends that don't really like PvP and MMOs.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's an instant turnoff for a lot of people. So yeah, as long as it's not forced, I mean, I think it sounds amazing.
The one thing as well that I do like about it, they said that you can simultaneously do your like level together your PvP and your PvE. They said no reset buttons.
Yes.
Joe, like we'll do World of Warcraft. You go through, do the whole story, and then you've got your PvP. Think vanilla, where you had all the War Masters and everything like that. And you gain your levels in you grind out your battle armors.
Yeah.
That isn't going to happen by the looks of it, which is fantastic.
So
in my
it's
eyes.
all connected. It's like in Guild Wars 2, you can level from PvE, but then you can hop over to uh, uh, World versus World, and you can continue leveling.
I think that is very important for a shooter as well, though, because you're going to have the group of players who are pretty much not interested in PvP and just want to PvP.
Yeah.
And you're going to have the other group who wants to do exactly the other way around.
And arena PvP is a really good thing for those people that are only interested in the PvP.
Yes.
Yes.
Just want to add that. But no, I mean, I think now. Okay, here's something that I just thought about. A while ago, like back when the forums first went up, one of the discussions I'm pretty sure was had was factions.
Yes.
So if we have
Yeah.
open, they didn't. Did they mention factions in that?
No,
No.
there's nothing mentioned about factions, and lore-wise, I cannot imagine factions because it's the world is in a state of peace. So I would only imagine like pirates or outlaws
Well, it's
and
bandits, isn't it?
and archons.
Then how was this open world PvP done? Because I mean, factions is the obvious.
Well, you've also got to put it this way: they're essentially mercenaries, aren't they?
Yeah, so they fight amongst each other. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Right,
Yeah. I can see that.
In a world which is, which I can only assume is being starved of resources.
Yeah, but you would still assume. I mean, what does it take to make a faction? A group of people
Well,
get together, and that's a faction. But I'm just wondering if it's like just I don't know. I mean, to me, it seems like the only way they would be able to do that is if they had some sort of faction. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a big faction. Something as simple as a gang.
Yeah, I'm personally not a real fan of having factions in a game at all, because you just split your population in two, and that brings up an entire different set of problems.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
But
It's just I don't
I
see
do
another
think
way for them to do it.
I do think that there needs to be some type of lore explanation
Yeah.
Yeah,
or idea behind it, like why are we fighting, and that might not be very important to
a lot of people.
like the FPS gamers, but the people who are coming from this show, who are kind of like in this jumping on this new universe, I think that is definitely a question that will pop in their mind and hopefully gets an answer. But I think that that is something that we will probably learn about at one point or another.
Well, you'd be looking at it playing the game, wouldn't you?
well, yeah.
Hopefully at least it's explained
Yeah,
in the
it'll
game.
explain a little bit. It's like, okay, so here's red team and here's blue team. Choose one.
Well,
Red
that
versus
works.
blue.
Yeah,
Halo.
red. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of when I said that. But no, I think. I mean, I could easily see in a like in, in a world that's, as you said, in a world that's starved for resources. I can easily see it, like not even factions, but gangs of mercenaries, and you can.
Yeah.
This is where
One way
all
you
your
could do it.
clans and hopefully alliances and stuff like that. Because I wouldn't mind having alliances.
Oh, that would be a really awesome way to do it. Is if it was player-controlled alliances that got resources out of fighting over stuff like that.
Hmm.
But no, I mean, but once again, I can easily see like a lore-driven gang, and you don't even have to like join the gang per se, but just fight for them as a mercenary and then get rewarded. That would be a way to do it without restricting people.
Yep.
But
Definitely.
either way, I think it's going to be interesting to see how they do that.
There is many other things that was shown in the developer's diary. For example, your PvP outfits, and they specifically said that it was cosmetic only, which I quite like the idea of. No stats means more skill based. That's what I like.
Yeah, it means everyone's on an equal slate.
Yeah, it's just like stuff where you've been going to the game that shall not be named, having your top tier battle armor versus your standard run of the mill armor. There was a huge difference, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. And I even still enjoy the game that shall not be named, but that is an issue in that game.
That is a shrink needing issue.
Yeah. But no,
Are we?
I like the idea that that everything's like that there's no stats on your armor in PvP. I like the idea that it's skill based. And
I think missed something. Are we talking about Disney Online now?
Disney Online. Oh.
yeah,
The
I have faith. I have faith.
God, you're gonna need faith.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna need some faith.
2015 shall be the year of well,
Either everyone's gonna be really happy or everyone's gonna be really angry. We just have to wait and see. Or the more likely solution, you'll have like 25% are happy and then the other 75 are angry.
anyway.
Basically, the current Call of Duty scene.
Yeah. Vehicles in PvP, they look awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And they have a use.
And they do, yeah. The two that were pretty much at the moment there's been 3 vehicle types that we've seen throughout the game. One is the ATV, the all-terrain vehicle, which is your quad. Then there's the Cerberus, which looks to be, for example, a Jeep.
Yeah, Jeep with and that's the one that has the mounted turret on it.
Yeah, that one has weapons. It reminds me of a Dune buggy.
It
kind of like
reminds me a lot of that Doom buggies from Halo, or it
Warthogs?
reminds me a lot of that.
Well,
Yes.
it would be the Warhogs from
Halo.
Yes.
And then you've also got the trucks, which they've hinted at being mobile spawn points.
That would be interesting.
Which could be very interesting. I mean, just put one of your group members in there, just keep driving around a point you want to capture, and keep rushing them.
Well, you look at it, if you're into the FPS scene at the moment and you've been playing the Planet Side 2, they've got...
Galaxies.
What?
They have galaxies. Galaxies.
I was more thinking of the Sundras.
Oh, the Sundras?
Which are in essentially a truck which has a mobile spawn beacon in it.
Oh, did they add those? I thought they didn't have spawn beacons.
No, they've been in there quite a while now. You just got to cert into them.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You got to cert into
them. And basically, you deploy them, which means then people can spawn on them until they're destroyed. So I would like to see sort of that in there. If it's going to be as big as they've implied it's going to be, could be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Now we need is the post-apocalyptic bus that you can just ride around on and shoot out the windows.
Well, have you seen the concept art for the trucks today? Was it today they released it or yesterday?
It was
no, I actually haven't. Is it on their Facebook?
Yeah, it's it got released yesterday.
I did not see that.
I like the way they also put the little bit of lore with it. Initially developed by the Earth Military Coalition.
The Titan Combat Utility Vehicle is now a heavily modified frontier vehicle.
But that is not all. We had Janan, who is one of the senior systems designer of Defiance. He is in the US office. He actually posted an in-game image of one of these trucks on my Twitter. You can see that at Jimbo 3D. Just a little bit of the...
Don't forget to follow us at Defiance Central. Twitter.com.
We'll leave that till the end. No, but it looks absolutely awesome. And so does the dude's cap as well.
Yes, that was kind of the first thing I noticed. He was like wearing a baseball cap. I think it was backwards, if I saw it correctly.
I'm trying to figure out what it's got on it because it's a blue and white trumpet
the logo,
cap.
right?
Yeah.
I was trying to figure that out as well, but the resolution wasn't quite high enough to really figure out what was going on there.
But no, going back to the controls that we were saying, he's using an Xbox controller to control that, from what you can tell with the all the shortcut keys on there, the left bumper and the right bumper and all that. It looks very Xbox-ish.
I was actually surprised by the people on the forums who still don't believe it's coming out on PS3 and Xbox. I think they have a right to be, with all the games being cancelled or advertised. Yeah, we're coming out on PC and Xbox and 360, but I mean, we see them playing it. I mean, what else do you want?
And they've said it repeatedly.
Yes.
It's like, guys, we're releasing it. No, you're not. But wait, what? No, but we're working on it.
Right. I think we'll start wrapping.
Okay, I just found
this
that
up.
picture.
Yeah.
I
It's a
got
good
working
picture, isn't
4
it?
hours, so yeah, please.
Oh,
And
work.
we're also running close to an hour and a half, maybe hour and 15.
Hour 15.
The last thing we want to say, well, that I wanted to say, is there's a few forum topics that have come to light recently. One, people keep asking about beta.
Oh, yeah.
This is myself. We're just wanting to say this. We are all waiting for the beta. We're all waiting to get our hands chance to play on this. As Dehani said on the 24-hour stream, if you want your best chance to get into a beta whenever that comes around, facebook.com/Defiance, Defiance.com, and Defiance is it Universe?
World.
Defiance World
And
on
Defiance
Twitter.
Game.
Yeah.
On Defiance Game.
And I mean, obviously, when this stuff starts happening, forums are just going to go crazy. So that's another great place to keep up with it.
Right. One of the other ones is this. This is going back to the monetizing. Well, the pre-order. There's a pre-order post now.
Oh, jeez.
GameStop.
This is my favorite conversation that we're going to have tonight.
GameStop have put up prices for the collector's edition and the standard edition on their website. Now, these they say have been put at $99. Well,
have they even announced the collector's edition?
No.
No.
Of course. That makes total sense.
Yeah. Right. The collector's edition is basically 1 cent shy of $100, and the standard edition is $69.99. Now, this has been confirmed by Daniel Chin, and also I've asked Kiara if anything has been leaked or given out yet, and they said no. We will be the first ones to know when something happens. By keeping an eye on the forum and the Twitter. This is just GameStop being GameStop.
I'm more interested in why I'm looking at something called the Ultimate GameStop Edition.
Hey,
It's $150. It's $150. Look at that! I just put it into the Skype chat. Defiance Ultimate Edition, GameStop exclusive, $150.
I think you get some extra bullshit with
You
that.
see, I can't see that one. That just gives me the UK GameStop. We have GameStop in the UK.
No,
Apparently.
but I think what the listeners might be interested in is that a lot of these vendors need to somehow get the game in their system, and
It needs to be there for.
Brilliant as some of these systems are, usually they require a price. So that is kind of how these things end up in systems.
Yeah. They also
see them, and
for the main one recently has been the Star Wars: The Old Republic. GameStop themselves, they put it up at completely the wrong price.
And they had to refund it, right? That went horribly wrong.
They did. They had to refund and amend and change everything, which did put, you can hear Matt laughing there, it put everybody off for quite a while. It was quite big for a while, wasn't it?
Matt doesn't like GameStop. Oh my god! Every time I order something from them, every time, it never goes well. There's always a problem. It makes me so mad.
You ordered Disney online at GameStop then?
No, I ordered Disney Online from Amazon, and that went smoothly. But an example of a problem that I've had at GameStop. You guys remember Prototype, like the original
Yes,
Prototype,
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
not
yes.
not Prototype 2. Well, I was really hyped for the first Prototype, so I pre-ordered it at GameStop. And I had it. I didn't like get it shipped to me. I just had it pick up at the store. And of course, I bought it for the PC, which I guess that was my own mistake for assuming that GameStop cared about PC gamers. Bam. But so on their site, they had the release date listed for I think it was like June 9th or something. But the day before the game came out, they changed the date for the PC to June 10th. They got the 360 and the PS3 copies of the game on June 9th, and they got the PC versions on June 10th. So I'm sitting there, and I get there on June 9th, and I'm waiting outside. I'm waiting for their little rinkety dink van to show up so I can get my game. Finally gets there, and I'm sitting there waiting on my copy, and I'm like, so yeah, you guys, I'm just here to pick up my copy of Prototype, and they're like, "Oh, cool, PlayStation 3 or 360?" And I went, "Oh dear." uh, Actually, no, PC. And he's like, "Oh, those won't be here till tomorrow." And I looked at him, and I had to have this look on my face of pure anger, and which I proceeded to go home, cancel my order, and then buy it from Steam.
Good
Ah,
choice.
Just
So
nowadays, anyway, in my opinion.
yeah,
yeah,
digital's the way to go for PC as far as I'm concerned. Unless you're getting like
um
a collector's edition.
yeah, what I end up doing these days is like I get the collector's edition if it's a game I really want to play, for example, Defiance, and then I
Can't
get
say that. I got the Star Wars Collector's Edition.
Yeah, I
and
got
then
that
I
too.
and then I get the digital download anyway, so I don't have to stress on launch day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
well, most MMOs, yeah, you can you'll have it downloaded anyway, whether it's
yeah,
from beta
yeah.
or whatever.
But
Especially for early access stuff.
maybe
Yes.
it's an idea that the games maybe GameStop is looking for a podcast to sponsor. I think we mentioned there. Oh, we could add another counter for that, Matt.
We better be getting paid if they're sponsoring us.
But anyway, I think we'll wrap that up now. It's been good to get back on doing the podcast. It really has, even after the many side roads and bumpiness in today's one. It has been good.
I
Many
think people
trains
are used to that
rammed.
by now.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, they need to assume that it's not going to be what it should be.
Right, the usual stuff. You can find us at defiance-central.com. Matt,
Oh,
your favorite thing.
follow us on Twitter at Defiance Central. I've been waiting the entire show to say that. That's DE. No, I'm joking.
Oh,
I don't think I need to spell that out.
Delta Echo Foxtrot Indigo.
Oh Jesus.
If you... Right, anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll do the usual things of what we're looking forward to. Cal, what do you want to see next?
I want to see next some new instances. We've seen E3. I want more.
Matt?
I want to see if there's going to be an Amazon Ultimate Edition and not just no, but honestly speaking, I would probably go with more vehicles. I'd also like to know about that whole open world PvP thing. But yeah, instances is a big thing for me too. I'd really love to see more of that. But other than that, I mean, I'm just looking forward to the game and the show, just all together.
And for me, I want to know what this thing that Kiara's got in store for us.
Oh yeah, that's good. Wow,
Play test, press, pass, press thing, whatever. I want to see what's going on. I want to see it shown in the UK. And I want to hiccup.
I'd also like. I'm just throwing it
At
out
least
there.
one of them got done.
Carolina Game Summit. It's in January. We don't have much, but we've got local devs. If you guys want to come down here.
So thank you very much, guys. Keep an eye on the site for information. We'll be bringing as much as possible as we can, and of course, keep an eye on Twitter.
Also,
Thank you very much.
What I just want to cut in one because I don't think we mentioned this. At the moment, we don't have a schedule for the podcast until we start getting a more steady information flow. It's going to be kind of whenever something big happens, it shouldn't take as long as it did for this one.
No,
But
this one was teething
yeah, there were
problems.
so many issues. But once
I want to try and aim for once a month at least
yeah,
at the
at
moment.
least once a month, and maybe even when we get close to launch and things start really speeding up, maybe once a week. We'll see. But until then, just kind of look for us at least once a month. We're still here. We haven't died. Well, I might die if we don't get an Amazon hold. I think we should end this. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, see you next time, guys.